Welcome back, Black Magic Sorcerer here with another video about the tarot. And as we continue our journey through the tarot, you can see side by side just how beautiful these original Rider-Waite tarot are. We have discussed the Fool, we have went over the Magician. I'll probably have to go over him again because he is so in-depth. But the journey leads us to the number 2, and of course the High Priestess. So real quickly, if you want to look into kind of just the symbols that are around her, basically what she is representing is the element of water, a very female, very serious female and secretive female energy. Very serious, and at the same time there's an internal governance about this card. So as where the Magician is king of the outer realm, she is queen of the inner realm. She is the spirituality, the water element. I guess you could say the female side of the Magician is the way that I kind of look at her. She's basically the female magician. And this card has a unique meaning because I think that the character this is based on was based on a female pope that was rumored to have imitated a man and rose in power to actually become a pope. I don't know if that's true or not. I'd like to look into that myth or that legend and just see. It's an interesting story. So as you see, her gown kind of flows down into the bottom, kind of it's almost as if water's passing through her. It doesn't stop. It's just the pomegranates in the back are always associated with different things. In this particular instance, I think they're associated with passion, like the Passion of Christ. So the two pillars are obvious. She holds in her hand a scroll with the word Toro. If you look very closely at it, Torah. And this scroll is her basically, that is her script for her laws. That is how she kind of governs the element of water. There's a set sort of a deep balancing force, and at the same time it is the opposite of, I guess you could say, having emotions, which is having emotions that are controlled instead of emotions that are just out of control. She represents the emotions, the psychic power of the mind and the psychic power of the spirit. As you see the moon symbol on top of her head, she has 3 different moons, waxing, waning, and crescent. And then here we have this particular moon. So I forget what that one is supposed to mean. But anyway, the Holistic Tarot, I find, is a really excellent source for meanings aside from the regular Rider-Waite tarot book. I wish they would have wrote a book about this deck, the people that published it originally. So Tora is a Japanese word that means tiger. Now, if you look at the way she is poised, she has a very deliberate cross on her chest. She has an attitude of being very calm, but at any moment could advance on you. So that is an interesting way to look at the High Priestess. Now, with all that definition aside, one of the things I want to say is I look at definitions, but then I look at what does this card's energy radiate for me just off the bat. So if I had not looked at this meaning for this card, let's say I didn't know anything about tarot, my first impression of this card would be, okay, this is a powerful female. And there is a sort of disguise about her. It's not as if she wants to be known or is flaunting anything. If you look under her hood, she does have long hair, but it's sort of shoulder length, it looks like. So maybe that goes along with that myth. of disguising herself as a man, but it's a fascinating card. And when other decks do it, they usually do a pretty good job too. But I'm just going to focus on Rider for now because it's really more simple to explain the meanings, I think, when you just have the basic deck. When you get into the artistic ones, like all these variety and style, they're wonderful, but the creators of each deck definitely assign slightly different meanings to each card because each card is a different representation. So it's roughly the same meanings, but because the card and art are different, they do sort of what do you call it? Borrow and then give back to the meaning is what I was going to say. They kind of over define and at the same time bring it back home and say, okay, this is the Necronomicon tarot, but you know the meanings are not so dissimilar from Rider Waite that you couldn't look at the cards and know. Like for example, this card on the box is the Magician. Okay, I wouldn't have known that right offhand. So it just goes to show you that without the meaning and without the books that these decks come with, you would really lose a lot as far as the art, explaining what the art means. Because as you can see, they are all totally different. I mean, this is like a super beginner deck in the world of tarot, but I think it's the most necessary. And the easiest way to understand the meanings is to just simply contemplate the Rider Waite tarot meanings. Anyway, I digress. So what I was going to say is my immediate impression of her is like, get a hold of your emotions. Be in control of that internal energy. Understand and work with the energies of the moon. Be balanced. Don't overdo it. Don't feel too much. And don't reveal too much. Be secretive. There's a slightly sexual, secretive energy that comes from her, from the female side. So it's very feminine, it's very water, and very emotional, but at the same time, controlled. So I can't stress that enough. It's like all the chaos and emotions you would expect that would come from a water sign person, except with that control, that ability to turn on and off the spigot, so to speak, of water energy. So anyway, I hope that this was helpful, and for those of you who are new to tarot, I'm going to go through the entire deck and all the meanings, but we're starting with the major arcana, so I thought it would be fun, and next time, friends.